What's up, guys? It's Sean here with the Sean Daily Football Channel, and today I have for you a little bit of a different episode. I'm gonna kind of go through a few of the teams around Europe and give my thoughts on how they can resurrect their season through either January signings or through just a little bit of bolstering. We're going to start with the Premier League, as it is the league that I have personally the most knowledge of. And we're just going to kind of go through the teams and I'm just going to give my thoughts on what they can do to pretty much get their goals. Starting off with Manchester City, I don't really believe Manchester City actually needs much. Their main weakness at the moment is a lack of a striker, and I don't think that's a problem that can be solved in January, I think they're fine. Liverpool's problem has always been the same pretty much over the last few years, and it's the lack of suitable rotation, really. Diego Jota was a fantastic pickup for them and has helped them tremendously. However, I still believe that they need one more signing to replace that front line a little bit more. Someone a little higher quality than Divock Origi, possibly. But again, I don't think Liverpool's problems are fixable in January. I think they're pretty much fine. Chelsea, same situation. Chelsea just really need to figure out the Rudiger and their center back situations and tie them all down to contracts, or to let them go, or just make a decision pretty much. Now we have kind of the interesting quartet of teams who are currently fighting for Champions League football, where we have West Ham, Manchester United, Arsenal, Spurs, and Leicester City. Don't really know if Leicester's actually fighting for Champions League. Yeah, Leicester's not fighting for Champions League. I'm going to remove them from the list immediately, honestly. Despite only being 4 points behind, I guess they could resurge. Sure, why not? They can be included. Why not? For fun of it. But West Ham, I think their major problems is a lack of creator and a lack of a suitable number 9 replacement for Antonio. And the main thing is that squad is just a little thin for competing in both the Europa League and the Champions and the Premier League and the EFL Cup and the FA Cup. It's just so, and they've already been kind of hit with a decent amount of injuries at the moment. I just don't believe, sorry, Ali's just been acting up a little bit. I just personally, at this moment, don't believe one signing is really enough here. But immediately, I think bringing back Jesse Lingard is going to be a huge boost to that team. I think he can make a world of difference to this West Ham side because he was absolutely fantastic for them when he was there. Aside from that, maybe a look at some players out of the Bundesliga is a possibility. I honestly don't. There's so many roles that they need to work on, and I honestly just don't know how cash rich they are at the moment. So Jesse Lingard, and I think they still have a shot at Champions League football at the end of the year. Moving on, we have Manchester United. And Manchester United problems have been pretty obvious for years at the moment. We need more midfield cover. The talks in the paper seem to be Amadou Haidara from RB Leipzig. Sure. Any midfielder would do. I'm not very picky, but a midfielder definitely improves the chances and increases the possibility of us being able to sneak into the Champions League. Arsenal desperately are in need of a striking reinforcement, in my opinion. The talk and all the rumors are Vlahovic from Fiorentina. He looks absolutely fantastic at the moment with 15 goal contributions for that Fiorentina side. Making the adjustment from Italy to England has typically proven to be difficult for a lot of players. Given that the number one player that I can think of that made that transition successfully was Jorginho, But outside of that, not many players out of Italy do insanely well in the Premier League. It just doesn't happen very often either. João Cancelo, but again, it took him a year or two to get situated. So there's a possibility, but there's a lot of people currently trying to sign Vlahovic, so I don't necessarily think, I think he might have higher hopes than Arsenal, potentially, but we'll see. We will see. And then moving on to Spurs. Spurs are in a bit of an interesting situation. I think Spurs desperately need a center back. I think they desperately need some center back signings. One sec. When allergies hit, man, nothing else can happen. Spurs, I would heavily recommend a center back. Spurs are in actually a really good position right now. If they are able to win both their games in hand, they will be 3 points clear at fourth place. Sorry. But it's going to be difficult, specifically because they do play Leicester. Best video of all time. But I think a center back to kind of replace the outgoings that they had would be a great replacement. And I actually think when it rains, it pours. Literally. I think the team is actually pretty good. The only question is for Conte. This little injury break, the 2 weeks they had off, kind of is great for them. Can they build on it? We'll see what happens tomorrow against Leicester. Speaking of Leicester, Leicester and West Ham are the teams that are a little bit difficult to gauge because they're kind of... If I'm going to rank as far as like squad quality, you have City, Chelsea, Liverpool, who are above. But again, even between them, the squad quality is different. I would say as far as like best 11, Liverpool possibly have the best 11 in the league. Chelsea and City have the most rotation options and the deepest squads. I would say right after them is United as far as squad quality. And then you have Arsenal, Spurs, West Ham, Leicester. I think Arsenal's squad is just yet too young at the moment, but I think it has a lot of quality. I think West Ham is in this, pretty much everything's kind of lining up perfectly for them. Spurs, it's just kind of a mismatch. The squad on paper is fantastic. I would say the squad on paper is right behind United, but they're just not firing at the moment. When Harry Kane isn't scoring, it's a bit of a negative. And then Leicester, West Ham, and Arsenal, kind of, I would say their squad as far as quality is pretty equal. You can interchange a lot of players across those teams. Even Spurs kind of meddles into that as well. So that's kind of my thought process for Leicester. It's kind of difficult to like think, oh, one player is going to really obvious choice. But I've been told Tarkowski from Burnley is potentially on his way out and is out of contract. That's a good pickup. There's a lot of great free agents around Europe at the moment who will be coming up in summer. Maybe if you go to Milan and throw in a bid for Kessie, maybe that could tempt them. That would be an interesting signing for a lot of these teams. So those would be the smart places where I would be shopping. That was kind of my ideas, a little quick video on what I think, how clubs can expand and get to that next level through a couple of signings in January. But more than anything else, guys, I don't expect a lot of movement in January, but we will see. You never know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.